All right, getting right into it. The Ferrari that was stolen, last week, but that we covered on last week's podcast, the 2019 Ferrari 812 Superfast. 812 Superfast, that, am I conflating? Is it the... Yeah, F12. Yeah, F12, then 812 Superfast.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. I do know my Ferraris, I promise. It was stolen by a transporter. It has been recovered.
Seriously?
The rightful owner has gotten it back.
I thought it was gone forever.
So did the owner. He literally said that. He's like, that's gone. I think he was discouraged. Some people read into that and inferred that he was maybe in on it. That was definitely not the case. But let's talk about, one, how we got it back and how it happened. We dug into the transport company a little bit, but the mechanics of how the vehicle was actually stolen and what everybody can learn from it in order to not have it stolen, because it's really not that hard to prevent your vehicle from being stolen by transporters, but it takes dealers and brokers actually doing their job and maybe going a little bit above and beyond. Maybe.
So did you help find this? Were you involved?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I can't take any credit. There's another dealer that's trying to take credit, but really it came down to the fact that the vehicle had low jack on it.
Oh.
So it had a tracking system, and that doesn't always work because thieves are pretty good at disabling tracking systems. So anyway, he had up-to-date GPS, which he did not put in his post. He didn't want that getting out there because, again, sometimes the element of surprise is best when you're trying to catch a thief. So the car never left Los Angeles. He bought it from a dealership in, I believe, Sacramento, and it was close by. And so he flew in, the buyer was in Houston, and he flew into LA with this tracking information and boldly went to the address where the car was. Now, he did not see the car there, but he took his theft report and the tracking reports and everything and went to a local police department. And this is after he had contacted California Highway Patrol, LA County Sheriff's Office, et cetera. Nobody was any help, unfortunately. I have a friend that's retired from San Bernardino Sheriff's Office. He was trying to help, calling all of his friends that were still on the force and the auto theft task force, et cetera. And they basically all were like, yeah, gee, I wish I could do something, but can't.
Were they just like busy with other more important things, or just is this such a hard thing to crack down on? Or
I think it's so common, and just a combination of that being short-staffed, politics, et cetera. But the victim was very, very frustrated with the lack of law enforcement involvement in being able to recover this. But he did go into the local station and basically just said, I need you to help me come get this car. So they went there, knocked on the door, and it was basically at a local house that had kind of like a repair shop in the back. And I don't know that they were necessarily the thieves. That's just where the car ended up. It seems like there's just this giant chain of people marginally involved in these car thefts happening. So as far as he knows, no arrests were made, and the cops didn't bother to get a warrant either. They just knocked on the door and they were able to search the property, and lo and behold, the car was there.
So this wasn't an operation like in No Man's Land, the wonderful 80s movie where they steal Porsches, where it's like a whole chop shop where they bring them in and they tear them to pieces, and it's like everybody's in on it and a couple of people get shot and a whole... No,
nobody got shot.
Okay,
the car
it's a great
was
movie though.
Torn to pieces. It was a little banged up on the outside, but inside a bunch of interior trim panels had been taken off, the passenger airbag. I guess that they were probably looking for the GPS device, assuming that there was one there, and trying to disable that. And they were obviously unsuccessful. That's how they found the car. Or maybe trying to remove things that had the VIN number. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, he got the car. We made a call to our friends at JP Logistics, which is a wonderful, legitimate transport company. They had a rollback there within hours. They have a great first-class facility in Los Angeles. This is not a sponsored anything. This is just, he's like, do you know any transport company that can help me out? Because the car is broken, it's in limp mode, whatever, like it won't run.
Yeah, like help.
So we need to get this car out of there. So they have a headquarters in LA. They put it in their enclosed storage facility, and then a couple days later had it delivered to Dallas to the Ferrari dealer. So yeah, wonderful. They were great. The guy kept asking me, he's like, do you trust this transport company like 100,000%? And I was like, listen, transport companies aren't perfect. That, like, things may not go perfectly, but they won't steal your car. I can guarantee you that. So it's the, low bar.
Dude's got trauma now. He's going to be so sketched by any other time he needs to ship a car.
Right. So anyway, the good news is he got the car back. The bad news is there was no big sting operation. No theft ring was, busted up. The other bad news is it may be totaled anyway because of all the parts and software and programming and crap that's needed now. So kind of a sour taste for somebody buying their dream car. But yeah.
This is covered under insurance though, right?
In theory, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not some weird thing because the shipping company did, because I know you've talked before that if damage happens in transit, which this you could maybe argue one way or the other, but that can be weird with insurance.
Theft, yes, right?
Okay.
So he has a police report. It's a legitimate theft. So yes, that's covered. And I guess it's up to the insurance company to make that determination, not me, but I would assume that it's
I would
covered.
hope so. Godspeed.
Yes. It's also why you should add insurance the day you pay for your car. A lot of customers call me and they paid for their car a week ago. They're like, well, when's it get shipped out? In a couple of weeks. Well, do I add insurance when it gets here? I'm like, no, you should have added it already. The money's left your account. It's your car. So, okay, how does this not happen?
By paying a reputable company to do this and not trying to skimp on the dollars.
How do you find a reputable company?
I don't know.
All brokers look reputable online.
You go to any big car event, there's a bunch of trucks from Reliable and Intercity.
Yes.
There's 3 or 4 massive ones that do all the big. Just go with them.
But they're super expensive. Often their communication is poor. Sometimes going with a smaller outfit is better.
That's true.
Right? Better level of service. And these brokers all appear to be giant operations. However, they're not. They're usually just a single office working out of their apartment, whatever. There is a way to prevent this. This isn't hard. So we got to unpack how this happened to tell you how to not have it happen. If you are a transport broker listening or a dealer, pay attention because this is your job to make this not happen, not the clients, not the customers. So in a nutshell, what happened was a legitimate broker who the customer found on a Ferrari Club Facebook page or something like that, who came highly recommended, put the car on central dispatch, put the load on a load board. So a company, this was SCD Cargo, we unpacked this last episode, who is a licensed company, but not a real company. They have MC and DOT numbers. Right? Yep. So they accepted the load. They then used a different company that they had, which was a licensed broker, and put it on a different load board. I believe it was on Super Dispatch. So they posted this Ferrari that was supposed to go to Houston. They accepted the load from the first broker. Then they posted it with their different broker name on a different load board, but it was from Los Angeles to Los Angeles. So they hired a legitimate carrier who had no idea he was essentially stealing a car to ship it from one place to their little, from the dealer to their home base operation in Los Angeles. So it was a legitimate shipment by a legitimate shipper. I mean,
that's next level.
This is so easy to prevent. It's so easy to prevent. One, the broker did not perform due diligence on SCD Cargo. We unpacked them last week. I mean, it was so easy to see that they were a sham company. Two, the broker did not send the information on the truck, trailer, and company name and the pickup and delivery information to the dealer where the car was being picked up. Because if they had, then the dealer can say, okay, I'm looking for this truck, this license number, this company name, and I know what delivery address is supposed to be on the bill of lading. If those two things had happened, this vehicle would not have been stolen, at least not in this scenario. the dealer itself did not take it upon themselves to check the bill of lading. That would have been real easy. Like, oh yeah, this guy from Houston bought the car from us, but why is it being delivered to this random address in Los Angeles? That sounds fishy. Like when a truck shows up to our shop, if we didn't book the truck, we call the broker or the customer and say, here's who's here to pick up your truck. This is the company name. This is a picture of the truck. Is this who you booked?
And you do that with everyone?
If you didn't book it, if it's coming through a third party, we assume that they're probably maybe illegitimate. And we had this happen the other day. We sent a truck away because they showed up. The door on the trailer was missing for one, but they didn't have any markings. The guy like pulled out his magnetic thing and stuck it on the side after he showed up. And I'm like, why isn't your thing on there? He goes, oh, it's the weather. You know, it could come off. I'm like, really? Or are you trying to skip the way station? Like you trying to avoid DOT? He's like, what? No, use your bathroom.
Yeah.
So
suddenly very nervous.
Yeah. So it's 3 really, really easy steps to not have your car stolen. Brokers, do your job. Dealers, do your job. Protect the customer. And like this won't happen. I've railed against transport brokers over and over and over again, and they just need to be gone from the industry. But they won't be. Unfortunately, they just can't be. There's too many small owner-operator, small operation truckers that can't manage, dealing with the customers. The brokers essentially act as the dispatching arm for these small companies, but they're not doing their job. And this could change. We could stop all transport thefts if essentially the brokers just adopted standardized best practices. Like, I'll write it up for you guys, right? Charge you like $100 subscription a year or something. Like, this is not hard. This is not hard. We don't even have to go arrest everybody. You just stop the opportunity. If you stop the flow of money, the crime goes away. They'll find something else to steal.
Yeah, and because obviously we don't want to stop using central dispatch, because then those smaller like owner operators who are legitimate, who are just doing their job, like they wouldn't have the access to loads or whatever else. But like,
no, I'm fine with stopping using central dispatch.
Well, you can for you. That's fine. But I feel like too, I don't know. It takes extra. Any time that I have told somebody to do something, it takes extra time to do their job correctly. It's usually there's a bit of friction. I feel like people are like, just get it out the door. It's probably fine. Whatever. There's insurance. Any of that kind of crap.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, the brokers don't have insurance. So you could say there's insurance, but like...
Well, they're assuming there's like insurance on the other end.
Well, yeah.
For like the trucker.
But they don't verify it. Or they think they do, but... Okay. Sure, anyway. Negotiator. What do we got?
Alrighty. Okay, so this comes to us, looks like from Beaters and Racers on, I think, Instagram, which is in a screenshot of something from Facebook Marketplace. You buckled in. Okay,
legitimate, reliable source.
100%. There's a couple of layers. It's a game of telephone.
Just like transporters.
This is a stock GXP Solstice, which was taken by the original owner to Wade's Garage in Virginia for the conversion to a Solbra. Do you know what a Solbra is, Doug?
A Solbra?
No. S-O-L. Oh, yeah, that is Solbra. Well, it's
that's an unfortunate name for a car.
It sounds like it's not a good name. So they combined a couple of things. Let's stick with me and we'll figure this out. Powered by a 4, and then they spell out 4, cylinder, 2.0 liter Ecotec turbo, 260 horsepower engine, stock from the factory, then upped to 300 with GM performance parts. Also by the original owner.
Like tune and exhaust?
Probably.
So like 265 horsepower.
Yeah.
Got it.
They're the second owner. Car's a real head turner. And while not one of a kind, it's truly unique, which, I can appreciate that they're not trying to pull like a Corvette owner on me. They're like, hey, this car's pretty unique, but it's not one of one.
I'm still stuck on Solbra.
We'll get there, Doug.
I feel like that could be a legitimate brand of like organic... material.
I'm gonna need
support systems.
We're staying focused on the topic. This is a vehicle, Doug.
Okay.
Okay. We'll get there.
All right. Why is it called the Solbra?
So it's a Pontiac Solstice. Okay. So the SOL.
Okay.
This company has converted it to look, if you squint really hard from 5 miles away, like a Shelby Cobra.
Oh.
So they put a big old round, like grill, not grill, but like opening on the front. They put like they got like racing harnesses in these. They put V8s in some of them, but not this one.
Not this one.
It is rough looking. Like it's yellow, bright yellow, but it has Shelby Cobra badging on the front. It has 427 on the sides.
The badging's crooked.
Yes, it is. Yeah. You got to tilt your head a little bit.
Real high quality installation there. The panel gaps are pretty crooked too.
Somewhere in here, they say specifically that it's not a 427. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get excited.
Just the badges.
Oh, even the front badge is like tilted.
Wait. What is this? Is that a boomer board?
Oh, yes, there is a laminated sheet of paper in here. Pontiac Solstice GXP Solbra, number 003,
of
mean
004. There was only 4 people that wanted that thing. So how much are they asking for this thing that doesn't look or sound like a Cobra?
Well, they're asking a whole $23,000
Yeek.
for a Pontiac Solstice with a bad body kit on it.
Yeek.
Look at this panel gap right here, dog. It's like it extends. It's like an acute angle. So bad.
Oh, dear. Oh, so, man.
Actually, Doug, I think Ethan has been looking at he's been thinking about a convertible.
Ooh.
We could pull some money out of the Switchcast war chest and get him rolling in style.
I want to offer the guy like $8,000 though.
I know, this is where it's so bad.
Awesome.
But honestly, the website also, I found the website for these guys. It looks like it was made in like 2004. And it's just never been updated.
Steve Saline had input on that design and build.
So. Yikes. Nuts for Sticks is a brand celebrating the manual transmission in all its forms. So forget those flappy paddles because we like shifting ourselves. Check out our fun and funny stick-themed shirts at nutsforsticks.com and save 10% on your order using the discount code SWITCHCAST. That's nutsforsticks.com and use code SWITCHCAST. Thank you for joining us for Switchcast with Doug Tabbitt and Tyler Sanders, produced by Ethan Huffnagel. Switchcast is an automotive entertainment and opinion show, and nothing we say should be taken very seriously. We do not give tax, investment, legal, emotional, or professional advice, and the only licenses we hold are driver's licenses. The opinions expressed on this show are exclusively held by the people pontificating at that moment and do not reflect the values of our producers or sponsors. Our theme music is provided by Emily and Ivory. You can stream their full album on Spotify or SoundCloud. If you like this show, you can stream it in its entirety on your favorite audio podcast platform. Check out switchcast.live for more info.